Hey guys, King of Charmanders here. Alright, so I got a request for an Alolan Sandslash. So, Alolan Sandslash is actually rated really high in the Kanto Cup. It's really interesting actually how it works out. Now, the first perk about Alolan Sandslash is if you guys play the Little Cup and you powered up your Alolan Sandshrew, you could actually evolve it and it should just go below, as you see here. It maxed out around 14 or 15 for the Little Cup, so you can actually use it for the Kanto Cup or power it up for Great League. So this little dude right here that you powered up thinking it might not be useful in the future, if you did power it up and you wanted to use it, well, guess what? You're in the right place, because for the Kanto Cup, it's actually really good. Now, what makes it really interesting is that Alolan Sandslash has a very balanced stat spread, as you see right here. A pretty across the board, even attack, defense, and stamina. Because of that, plus its unique ice and steel typing, it's one of the few steel type mons in the entire Kanto Cup meta. And because of its ability to charge fast with Powder Snow, and Ice Punch and Gyro, it has a very fast and versatile and powerful moveset. Now, there are a few problems with having Alolan Sandslash. As you see here, it really hates fire. And it really hates fighting. I don't really foresee a lot of Machamps being used in the in Kanto Cup because there's so many Hypnos, Mews, mostly Hypnos, that are going to be running around. So I don't recommend you use Machamp. You can use it, but you have to pivot away. That's where Alolan Sandshrew comes into play, or not Sandshrew, Sandslash. As you see, I'm still stuck in the. As I speak and make this video, I'm still stuck in the Little Cup, so I'm thinking Sandshrew. It's A-Slash. A-Slash. There you go. A-Slash. Anyways, A-Slash is also very weak to fire. So, if you get that Marowak with Fire Spin, Leaf. Just like how you saw in the Little Cup, when you see Vulpix, when you see Darumaka, when you see Fire, you run. You switch. You run. It's also weak to ground. Like I said, I don't foresee a lot of ground types being used, but there are those ground type fast moves like Drill Run from Beedrill. You have those Bone Clubs for Alolan Marowak. So ironically, there's Alolan Sandslash, even though it's safe, it's also very dangerous. However, it does sport a lot of resistances. As you see here, it does resist Charmers, it resists Dragon Breath users, you resist Flyers, Grass, normal types, so those Body Slams from Snorlax. You got the Psychic types there, those Confusions from Hypno ain't gonna do a thing to you. Those Dragon Breaths, those Charms, you do resist those. You also resist X-Scissor and other poison types like Sludge Bomb, Poison Jab, etc. and fellow Ice attacks. So Dugong doesn't do much against you, at least if it goes straight Icy Wind. So that's what makes Alolan Sandslash really interesting. It has a ton of resistances, but it also has... You have to watch out for these weaknesses. But we'll just see how vulnerable that Alolan Sandslash is in the rankings and on the Matrix. As you see, like I said before, if you powered one up before for like the Little Cup, you can power it up and use it for Great League. If that was your plan, that's great. You could use it right away. If not, it takes quite a bit to build. As you see here, it takes 50k dust, and you need to power it up a little bit, so it's about level, let's see, 21, 22. Not that expensive compared to other things you could power up for this cup, and it also has a pretty sweet shiny. But other than that, A-Slash is still really good for the Kanto Cup. Alrighty, so we have Alolan Sandslash for the Great League rankings for the Kanto Cup. As you see here, it ranks at number 2. Wait, what? Yeah, apparently Alolan Sandslash is actually in the top 3. Which, as you see what it beats, it's really interesting. Of course, it's going to defeat all the dragons. It takes out Wigglytuff, as well as Gloom, and its key losses are also really interesting as well. I think that's why I'm kind of dumbfounded with Alolan Sandslash, just because, like, even though it's ranked in the top 3, there's a lot of things that check it. Mainly, you know, the big ghost bone thingy that, yeah, It hates fire. It absolutely hates fire. But it's a fantastic lead. As you see here, it's a great lead, but at the same time, I don't know if it's a great lead. We're going to have to take a look at the Matrix to truly see how powerful A-Slash is in this meta. Yes, it's number 2 overall. However, there's a lot of things in this meta that can light you on fire. So, well, not really a lot of things, but, you know, the main thing that's out here, and, you know, there's another thing here that might be meta. So, like I said, A-Slash does have value, but we're going to take a look exactly how powerful it is as number 2. It's number 5 as the lead. As you see here, it beats a lot of the dragons. So if you do start seeing dragon leads, your A-Slash will counter them. You do have some weird key losses here. Now, Alolan Sandslash's best position is in the lead or the closer. I wouldn't use it as a switch because if you get locked into something that lights you on fire, guess what? You are dead. So do not light it on fire. Leave it as far away from fire moves as much as possible. Because as you saw on the Go Hub analysis, it doesn't like fire. And it doesn't like getting punched either. As you see, number 5 lead, in the closer, number 3. The number 3 closer, and the interesting is, it actually beats Mew and Alolan Muck. So, it does beat some very relevant meta picks in this well, technically, yeah, that's meta, that's anti-meta, but it's very interesting. Like I said, until we take a look at the Matrix, we won't be able to see the full potential of Alolan Sandslash in this meta. But as you see, it's very powerful. It's also a very strong charger. And as you see here, as a charger, it rates at number 12. Very, very good charger. And as an attacker, it also does very well as well. As you see, it's number 10. It sports in the top 10. So, Alolan Sandslash is very interesting because, like I said, top 3, very strong in 2 positions. You don't want to use a switch because it needs to pivot away from a lot of things if it lights you on fire. And let's take a look in the Matrix to see just how effective number 2 Alolan Sandslash actually is. Alrighty, welcome you guys to the Matrix. Now, here I put both for... You want Bulldoze and Ice Punch. The reason is because Bulldoze actually can take out Alolan Marowak. Ground is very good in this meta. And it can cover... It gives you a lot of coverage. Gyro Ball, not so much. But as you see, I put both of them just in case so you could see what flips. That's what I like about the Matrix. You could put as many movesets as you want. And then you can compare them. It won't hurt to compare Gyro Ball to Bulldoze. You want Ice Punch. Powder Snow generates energy quickly. Ice Punch gets stabbed. Ice Punch can also bait shields. And it's only 40 energy. So it only takes 5 Powder Snows for you to get to an Ice Punch. I put the rest of the Kanto Cup meta here. And let's take a look at what we got. Here's a 2 shield. And as you see here, against Articuno, you do very well against both versions of A-Slash. You do resist Icy Wind. You also resist Hurricane. You also beat B-Drill. This is very good because Poison Jab, you do resist it. However, you gotta watch out for that drill run. As you see here, you could just straight Ice Punch it to death. And you don't ever have to worry about X-Scissors. So you're perfectly fine against a B-Drill. You were pretty handy against it. So I was talking about in the Go Hub analysis, you don't have to fear drill run users as much as I thought. So that's B-Drill. You beat Dragon. Okay, so here's the disparity. Remember I told you you need to stay with fire? This is what happens if you're lit on fire. You need to leave. It only takes 7 fire spins for Charizard and for it to shield once to kill you. In fact, it could probably take the Ice Punch. So, yeah, it could probably take the Ice Punch. So Sandbox mode, take out... So don't shield this. It could probably take the Ice Punch and still just farm you down. Yes, it can. So it doesn't even... See, as you see here, it could take the Ice Punch and you could just get farmed down. You can literally just get farmed down with Charizard. So be very, very careful against fire types. You must pivot away. As you see against Charizard, as well as the other target, which is Alolan Marowak, which is right here. Alolan Marowak tears through you like it's like a hot knife through butter. That's probably the worst assumption to it. And you lose every single scenario because not only are you weak against ground, however, yeah, you are weak against ground. However, you don't even with AWAC, you don't even need that. Look, these fire spins will chunk you, and it could very well take an Ice Punch. It can, I know for a fact, like, even without, like, as you see here, you don't even need to see science, fire resists ice, and guess what? It only does 22 damage. So you get farmed down by fire types. You see Alolan Marowak, or you see Charizard, leave, like, immediately. You also lose against Dugong in the 2 shield. You beat a whole bunch of really good picks. So you beat Clefable, you also beat Dragon Blitzard, you beat all the dragons, you beat Golbat, you even beat Alolan Graveler if you have Bulldoze. As you see, you kind of lose against Hypno in the 2 shield, and you lose against Haunter just because Hypno's fire punches put a lot of pressure on you, despite the fact that you do resist these confusions. As you see here, one Fire Punch is enough to do more than half of your HP, and that's GG's. You only actually win up 2 shields or in the 2-to-1, so you need to be up shield advantage against a Hypno. You lose against Machamp because, remember I told you don't like getting punched in the face, so Alolan Sandslash doesn't like getting punched. You do beat Magneton. Now, you do lose against Mew. I believe you could flip this. And you do beat Muck, and you beat Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck's probably one of the key things is that you beat, because Amok is very dangerous in this meta. However, it looks like Alolan Sandslash can take it down as long as you can land the Bulldoze. So you have a lot of play against, but yeah, as long as you land the Bulldoze, you can do fine. So just play this matchup well, and you can take this matchup. But be very careful against Alolan Muck. Still be careful against Amok. Amok is still very powerful, great generalist in this meta, and it's very strong, so just be careful. You do beat Alolan Ninetales because you do resist Powder Snow as well as Charm. You lose against Poliwrath just because the Dynamic Punches do chunk you, as you see here, and also Mudshot hurts. So it's as you see, this Poliwrath still lives with a very high amount of health, so just be careful in the 2-shield. Like I said, I would rather the best position of Alolan Sandslash is definitely the lead, because if you lose the lead, you need to pivot out. And as you see, you get Wigglytuff. You beat Wigglytuff, so you beat all the Charmers very convincingly. And you also beat, like I said, the Dragons, Dragon Breath users, so any fast move damage you can really resist. You also beat Venusaur. You lose against Snorlax in the 2s, however, you might be able to flip this. Yes, but you need to. So you need to be in the 2-to-1. You need to have shield advantage, or you need to have 2 shields. So you need to be in the 2-to-1s or the 0-to-2. So just be very careful against Snorlax, because if it had superpower, you are dead. Now that's the 2-shield. As you see, you beat a lot of the meta, so it's justified that's the number. It's very strong in the lead. Here's the 1-shield. In the 1-shield, things kind of change a bit. As you see, you still lose against Charizard. You still lose against Dugong. Let's see, is there any situation where you win against Dugong? Okay, so you'll win against Dugong, but you need to be in the 1-to-0s or the 2-to-0s. So you can't reliably beat Dugong. I understand, just because it does resist your Powder Snows, and you need to land these Bulldozes. As you see, because Dugong is really bulky, it's really good. And that's the 1-shield. As you see, if you go across the entire board, you also beat Haunter once you land the 1-shield, so keep that in mind. You do still lose against Hypno, so just be careful. And also be careful of Lapras, because anything that's ice and resists you, it's very dangerous. And Lapras is bulkier than Alolan Sandslash, so this is what ends up happening. It could just go straight Surf, and then it's GG's, unless you're up 2 shields. So A-Slash must watch out for what resists it and what you're weak against. As you see, you're still very strong against a lot of the meta, particularly the Charmers and Dragon Breath users. However, you want to be careful of those fire and ice, anything that fire, ice, and even a little Graveler. I'm not sure why. These Rock Blast, oh, it's because Rock Blast does neutral damage. So you lose in the 1s, but you win the 0s, the 2s, and the closer, just because it generates so much energy, as you see here, and these Rock Blasts will chunk. If one lands, you lose half of your health. So just be really careful. That's because Stone Edge does neutral damage. Because Alolan Sandslash is an Ice and a Steel type, so you do neutral damage with Stone Edge. So just be really careful. As you see, you beat a lot of the meta, but you also lose to some relevant meta picks as well. And like I said, the plus is you beat Charmers and you beat Dragon Breath users. So that's the 1-shield scenario. Alright, so supposedly this thing's the strongest in the closer. So here we're going to rock the closer. I put the no-shield. And as you see here, you beat Arcuno, you beat Beedrill, you beat Clefable. You lose against Dragon Breath Zard this time around. I think it's because you just get Blast Burn to Oblivion. I think it's able to get the Blast Burn and it just melts you. Oh my lord, that's... Wow, it's a lot of damage. That is overkill. Okay, so anyways, you die to Charizard. You win against Dragonairs. You kill dragons, okay? You kill dragons. You kill all the dragons, no matter what they do. You beat Alolan Graveler just because Bulldoze does KO it, so like one Bulldoze does murder the poor little, I don't know what to call this thing. All you need to do is you one-shot it with Bulldoze. Just get Bulldoze, one-shot, done. GG's. And then we get Hypno, and then you got Haunter. Now, you lose against Hypno just because, believe it or not, even though you resist Fire Punch, this is how much damage Fire Punch does. 73 damage, meaning you lose more than 50% of your HP if you get hit with the punch of fire. Falcon Punch does in fact do a lot of damage in Super Smash Bros. And guess what? It does just as much, if not more damage in Pokemon Go. Do not get punched by Fire Punch. In fact, just don't get punched in general. If you get punched, it sucks. As you see here, one Cross Chop will eat you to the next dimension, and it's GG's. Actually, that's enough to one-shot you. Just be very careful against anything that punches you in the face or lights you on fire. Just like with Alolan Marowak. Remember we were talking about? Alolan Marowak beats you in every scenario. And those ratings are bad enough to where Alolan Marowak, even if there's an Alolan Marowak in the back and you thought you had GG's, guess what? You are dead. Like, really dead. Like, super dead. Like, there's no way out dead. You do beat Magneton. You do beat Mew. As you see here, let's see. I think Mew's able to... You're able... So you double... Okay, so double Ice Punch is enough to KO Mew. However, I think if Mew has Flame Charge in this scenario, you lose. Yeah, I think if it lights you on fire, I think you die. Yep. You die if it lights you on fire. So if you do have Flame Charge, guess what? It's GG's, unfortunately. So just be careful. There's a lot of things. You do beat Alolan... The good thing is you do beat Alolan Muck in a closer just because Bulldoze does hurt a lot and it does KO. So poor little Crayola Slime gets obliterated by Bulldoze. And you beat Alolan Raichu, you beat Alolan Raichu, so you're able to bulldoze that as well. You lose against Alolan Radicate, which is really weird. Why do you lose against Alolan? Does Crunch really hurt that much? 1, 2, 3, 4. Crunch KOs you in 2 shots. Okay, that makes sense. So you do lose against A-Slash. Again, in the closer, if you see... You hate getting punched in the face. Guess what? Even though Snorlax is not a fighter, it's a lover, it's not a fighter. Superpower does eat you to the next dimension, doing 160 points of damage if it connects. So you know what that means? You lose. You die. It's GG's. So, there you go, in the closer. Now, you also beat Wigglytuff and Zapdos. This is what makes this thing really interesting to use. Alolan Sandslash, even if you do use Gyro Ball doesn't seem like it flips anything. It does flip the Roller Eradicate scenario, but yeah, Gyro Ball doesn't look like it flips too many matchups. You definitely want Bulldoze, though, because Bulldoze gives you that chance to, like, KO Alolan Marowak. Well, if you can hit Bulldoze. So here's the thing. This is a 2000 IQ play. So here's Alolan Marowak. So here's AWAC. Now, assuming you are able to land a Bulldoze, for example, if we do get 100 energy here, we start off with, let's say, 50 energy. 50 energy. You start with the energy. You're able to land a Bulldoze. You do about 60 points of damage, which is half of AWAC's HP. So if you're able to pivot away from AWAC, do some damage to it, you might be able to KO it in a certain scenario. But you just get it. You have a chance. I'm not saying it's a strong chance, but you have a chance. Now, up shield is what's really interesting. If Alolan Sandslash does have shield advantage, as you see here, you beat a lot of the meta. Again, you do not beat anything that lights you on fire. As you see, your Fire Spin Charizard actually destroys your soul. So does Alolan Marowak. And also, it looks like Poliwrath as well, just because it outpaces you. Those dynamic punches hurt, and anything that hits you with a solid hit with the fighting, you're just done. As you see here, you beat everything else but fighter, but like some fighters and fire types. So just really careful. And also, it seems like Lapras is just really like Lapras really don't like you because you only beat Lapras if you're, as you see, if you're up 2 shields. So up 2 shields, you still lose against AWAC and Machamp even if you have 2 shields and Charizard and Fire Spin. Again, stay away from fire and stay away from fire. No, just stay away from fire. No, seriously, stay away. And in the 2-to-1s, I don't know if things change much differently. As long as you have shield advantage, because you still lose against the fire types, but you beat everything except Dugong. So if you have Gyro Ball, you take Dugong, but you don't want Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball makes it a little bit of a difference. It does allow you to beat Lapras and Dugong in a 2-to-1s. However, everything else is it's just really weird. Look, Gyro Ball is very situational, so I wouldn't run Gyro Ball. Yeah, I wouldn't run Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball can be good, but I wouldn't run it. As you see, it does allow you to flip some matchups. However, if you see in the 2 shield, you'll beat the same amount of things with it, and also having Bulldoze actually flips some matchups. Like with Magneton, Graveler, and also like at Magneton, Graveler, H.U., things that are electric, you will KO it if you have Bulldoze. So you definitely want to run Bulldoze. Now, this is rough. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, I wish I could say more about A-Slash. It just dies against too many things. I give it a 6 out of 10. I think A-Slash is ranked high because it does well overall. However, if you see anything that punches you in the face, even if it's not stabbed, as you see, just because it's double weak to fighting, it does so much damage. I give it a 6. I wouldn't try it in this cup. Because even if you don't have it, things like Mew with Flame Charge, Hypno with Fire Punch, and yeah, and Charizards, you can get if you see an AWAC or if you see fire, you can get farmed. They can literally just farm you down. You can get farmed down, and then you just, yeah. It's really dangerous to use A-Slash. Alolan Marowak is very good in this meta, and because Alolan Marowak is so powerful in this meta, you can expect to see a lot of them. Look at this. Even if in the 2-2s, you don't even have a good percentage. If you look at Alolan Marowak, which is a different variant, it's actually much better. So as you see 68% in the 2 shields. Alolan Marowak, you get 73. That's only 5 more. That's only 5 more. However, in this death list, it also includes Alolan Sandslash. As you see here, Alolan Sandslash, Alolan Microwave. As you see here, you have a ridiculous rating against A-Slash, if I can ever get there. As you see, at 919. Marowak absolutely destroys you in this meta, regardless of what moveset you carry. So just be really careful. I would give it a higher rating. The problem is, Alola, the reason why it can be good, don't get me wrong. You still do very well against the overall meta. But in this meta where so many things can have fire moves or a fire secondary move, I wouldn't run Alolan Sandslash. If it's the only thing you have because Little Cup didn't decide to be very dust friendly to you and give you the chance to like have something else for the Kanto Cup, I wouldn't use it. I had the question of it. It's okay. It's good. It's good in certain scenarios, but I can just foresee so many Alolan Marowaks just because it's so good. You're going to see AWACS, you're going to see fire. Because of that, I can't recommend Alolan Sandslash too highly. You could probably use it. It can be good, but you have to pivot away from fires. If you can't take out the fire, you're pretty much, it's doomed. So if you can't take out the fire Pokemon, you're dead. The good thing is, it does do very well against Charmers. So Alolan Sandslash, because of its typing of Steel, it's very good against Charmers, and it charges very fast. You can bait shields, and it does heavy damage. Charmers and Dragon Breath users will lose to Alolan Sandslash. You have to be really careful, though, because, like I said, I guess that's why Alolan Sandslash is just really bad to use. It's very good. Power Snow generates energy fast. Ice Punch does heavy damage. Like I said, Bulldoze can create some outs for you. However, just because it's so dangerous to play, I can't recommend it for the Kanto Cup. It belongs where it is because it does very well against the overall, like, Kanto Cup. But, however, in the meta I foresee where Hypnos and Alolan Marowaks are going to be plenty, I wouldn't recommend running Alolan Sandslash. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you liked it. If you want to use your A-Slash, I'm not stopping you. However, I hope this video really gives you that emphasis and that knowledge to be like, okay, okay, be careful of fire. And be careful of Machamp. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.